Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Te69 Spartan. He sent in a few batches of requests, so the first batch I'll get to are 4 topics that he has sent in. Thank you so much for your patience and your generosity. I appreciate it. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, video game playthroughs, topics, tier lists, rankings, random thoughts, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is for Superman 2025 versus Man of Steel 2013. Which I have a feeling this could be kind of a hot button issue. I mean, to be honest, I don't like either movie. I'll take the first 3 Superman films. Yes, that includes Superman 3. As goofy and silly as it is, I have more fun with that. Call it nostalgia, but I do. But Superman and Man of Steel, I don't like either one. I think they're both have issues where, for me personally, it's an imbalance where they try to go too much in one direction. I think Man of Steel tries to go too much this dark, gritty take, and then Superman 2025 really tried to overcorrect it, so there's no balance. That's the way I look at it. Now, I can appreciate Man of Steel try to do something different. It just, to me, it's not my kind of Superman movie. And again, the new one just felt like an overcorrection of it, with a lot of issues of its own. But if I break it down, if I look at Superman himself, David Cornsweet versus Henry Cavill, not just their performances, but their personalities, I do prefer the David Cornsweet version over the Henry Cavill version. In terms of personality, where I do think David has a bit more of that love for humanity, hope, not wanting to hurt someone, wanting to do the best that he can. Yeah, something even as stupid as saving a squirrel, but like I can see Superman doing that, sure. I mean, Crypto was more annoying to me than that. You know, now that time is gone, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see Superman doing that. And it feels more like how I would view Superman when the few times I read his comics, when I watched Christopher Reeve films back to the day. You know, the symbol of hope that I think of Superman, the symbol, that warmth, I got out of David Cornsweet. I thought that, despite the fact I think he had a bad script, I think James Gunn, I don't think he was the right director for this movie. But David Cornsweet, I thought he did what he could, and I thought he had the right personality for Superman. Sometimes the movie is just a bit too comedic. But you like Superman 3, yeah, but I think Superman 3 is actually funny. And I'm sorry, when that woman turns to a cyborg, that was creepier than anything in the Superman film since, in my opinion. So the personality I would give to the 2025 film. Toughness, though. The super in Superman. I will give that to Henry Cavill in Man of Steel. Again, the super in Superman. Henry Cavill, he did kick ass in toughness and strength. He didn't get his ass kicked all the time. Didn't get his ass kicked every 10 minutes. He fought the Kryptonians, took them down one at a time. Granted, he took the entire city with him, but he did, knew how to kick some ass. And Superman is a symbol of hope and peace. But when shit gets down, you gotta buy that he will kick some ass because he's fucking Superman. There's the super and Superman for a reason. You know, the broad chest and shoulders and... David Cornsweet, his character got his ass kicked too much. I know, it's Superman, you know, the guy shouldn't be, you know... How do you feel vulnerability for a character that seems invincible other than kryptonite? So how can we feel sorry for him? Well, we got to put him in a dozen situations where he gets his ass kicked. But it was just a bit too much of that. It was a bit too much. And I didn't really feel the super in Superman. Not as much as I'm sure James Gunn thought we would feel. At least I didn't. So toughness-wise, I would give to Henry Cavill and Man of Steel. That's why my favorite is Christopher Reeve, because I think he had both. He had that sweet warmth and smile and... Who are you? A friend. But then when shit got down, he's going for those missiles, he's getting that bus, Superman 3's getting that fucking, you know, laser... You know, right to that cyborg bitch. He's throwing, you know, Zod or the Kryptonian, whichever Kryptonian, you know, through the fucking billboard. I think, you know, Christopher Reeve had the right balance in the 3 Superman movies. At least for me, he did. He did. Now... Let's say the look of Superman, as in the costume. I'd give it to Man of Steel. Even though, you know, the darker shades, obviously just Superman and the brighter colors. The way the S is, I do prefer on Man of Steel compared to 2025. And that's the one that sticks out the most, is the S and how it looks. And I just think it looks better in Man of Steel compared to the 2025 one. That's just me, though. And the music. Big credit to Hans Zimmer and crew on Man of Steel. I don't like Man of Steel. I've said many times I do not like Man of Steel. I call Man of Steel boner. I never liked it. I did not like it when it first came out. I still don't like it now. I will always give props to the music. It is very tough to create your own theme after the John Williams masterpiece of Superman, that score. But he did it. Was it a Man of Hope? That's a beautiful. Bow down. Bow down, 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 ba-da. I'm like, wow, okay, this has that feeling, and it has that aura, but it's not ripping off John Williams. It's its own thing. And that's what I'm talking about. You have, if you don't do your own thing, it's all subjective. You got to do it right, and Hans Zimmer did it right. I can listen to that piece of music now and go, that's a beautiful piece of music. There ain't jack shit of that in the new Superman movie. It's crappy pop songs or songs I don't give a fuck about. And the score is fucking abysmal. It's like it takes the John Williams score and then takes a fucking dump on it. A dump in a fucking ditch on it. Fuck the music in the new Superman. It sounds like dog shit. And the songs don't fit. I know what James Gunn's trying to do, but I'm sorry, this ain't Guardians of the Galaxy. But it seems like the only films you can make are Guardians of the Galaxy type of movies. And hey, I liked the first one. I liked the Suicide Squad. But that was a Guardians of the Galaxy type of movie, only with more blood. That's your wheelhouse. Superman is not. It was a crappy start to your new universe, in my opinion. David Cornsweet was fine. But goddamn, that was horrible music. So, the suit and music, I gotta give to Man of Steel. Tone? Neither. Because they both have an imbalance. One's trying to be like too comedic, and Crypto is so cute. And then Man of Steel is at the end when he fucking slams that military plane down. Don't watch me. Or the entire city looks like it got nuked by Skynet and he has time to kiss Lois Lane. Is like, you want to check to see if there's any survivors and people dying and bleeding? No time to kiss and try to fuck Lois Lane, Clark. They both had this shitty balance. Imbalance. So tone, neither. Now, Superman's parents. Kryptonian and human. Kryptonian parents are the idea of the Man of Steel. Just number one, there wasn't some message that says, yeah, we sent you down there to fuck all the women. All the men, all the women, you fuck them all. And lay away for us to destroy the shit. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. Whether they do something or not with that in the future, I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty weird. Gotta give it up to Russell Crowe. Does anything Russell Crowe, his performance, his stature, his reading of those lines, he gave a level of importance to Kal-El, and he worked very well as Jor-El. Unlike, what was it, Bradley Cooper, which I barely recognized him. The humans, on the other hand, I think they both suck. If I have to pick one, and the 2025 one, I didn't like them because they're just so stupid. Like, they don't know how to work a fucking phone. They're so goddamn redneck. I'm surprised they didn't walk out with Kleenex boxes for shoes on their feet. But the one guy, I always forget his name. I think it's the guy with the... I always forget his name. There's one good scene he has with his son where they're sitting on the steps. Which I like that more than anything in Man of Steel with Kevin Costner. You mean I should have let them die? Maybe. Like, what the fuck do you mean, maybe? No, there is no way you could excuse a maybe. That's just selfish and shitty. And then, you know, Clark, you could rescue me. You're faster than a speeding bullet. In fact, you could probably go fast enough that they would think I got caught by the wind since there's a tornado nearby. And then, oh, a wind got me, a gust of wind got me, and I landed right here. How lucky I am. And they would have felt it was just a gust of wind. But no. Talk to the hand, Clark. Talk to the hand. That to me is one of the dumbest fucking things in Man of Steel. And that's why I'll give it to 2025 Superman. Because while those parents made me mad because they were so goddamn redneck stupid, they didn't do the talk to the hand. They didn't make the dumbest decision. One of the dumbest decisions in the fucking Superman lore. Jesus Christ. I hated that shit. So the humans, I guess I would give to 2025, and then the Kryptonian parents I would give to Man of Steel. Superman 2025 gets points for not destroying the whole fucking city while trying to stop the bad guy. So, I'll give points to 2025 film for that. I also give him points for supporting cast, because to be honest, Man of Steel, I don't remember any of the supporting cast. I guess Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White. Cool, I like Lawrence Fishburne, but whatever. But the 2025 film has Mr. Terrific, and I thought Mr. Terrific was the best part of that movie. The actor who played Darwin in X-Men First Class, which was ironic because he was the character that his job is not to die, but yet he's he's one of the first to die. And I'm like, why? Because he's the black guy? As a joke. But, yeah, X-Men First Class was shitty for a lot of reasons, including that one. Just like, oh, this character would be interesting. Oh, he's dead. Wait, he plays a character who's not supposed to die? Okay. That's funny. But he did a good job here. Mr. Terrific was the best character in the movie, the most badass in the movie. I'm like, I want to see a movie just with this guy. So that alone, I put the supporting cast for 2025. Visuals, special effects, visuals. I would honestly, I would give it to Man of Steel. Because I think that's one thing Zack Snyder at times can do, is some nice, interesting visuals. I still think Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole is one of the best films he's done. I think the one with the owls, I think that's a really good film. And there's some good shots when he's getting ready to fly and then he goes up and stuff. And what's funny is that special effects nowadays look shittier than ones 10 years ago. And I'll say that because I think there's another one Tez 69 Spartan requested that falls into that category, so I'll save it for that. But and you know what? Honestly, I would also say the action I would put with Man of Steel. Because, number one, it's definitely more of an action-heavy movie compared to the new Superman. And granted, at times it could be a bit disorienting and confusing. Well, okay, let me think. Okay, visuals I'll give Man of Steel. Action, let me think about that. Because I was going to say, well, that it has more fighting in it, but I mean, Mr. Terrific, I thought had the best action scene in Superman. And the action scene with Superman, I thought was kind of eh. He rises up, he used the heat vision to destroy everything. There's a bit that he saves the girl that you saw in all the trailers and done in slow-mo. There's a bit where he saves the squirrel. I mean, those action scenes are filmed in a less confusing way, so I wasn't as disoriented as it was with Man of Steel. But Man of Steel tries to be more like bigger, more explosive, kind of like more Michael Bay-like, but with much more CGI. I don't know. The more explosive nature I could appreciate, but at the same time, it's like most of it was like him just, cities getting fucking destroyed and not trying to stop it in some way. I still remember the bit where someone throws the car, instead of stopping it and something, he just moves out of the way. Now let it blow up whatever the fuck behind me. I don't care. I'm going more towards you, sucker. It's okay. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I don't know. Visuals seem more striking in Man of Steel, I will say. The villains, I think both are meh. I know a lot of people praised Lex Luthor in the new one. I'm like, oh, whatever. And then you have Michael Shannon and Zod and Man of Steel. I will find him! I didn't like either one. I don't know which I would like more. One, it was like, okay, it's the Kryptonians, just like I saw in Superman 2. And then the other, oh, it's a Superman clone that Lex Luthor has. Like there was a fucking clone of Wolverine in Lodian. Or hell, even wasn't one of the deleted bits in Superman 4 that he was, I mean, I guess in a way Nuclear Man not visual wise, but I mean it's from his hair. So it's supposed to be kind of equal to Superman. Nuclear Man. Hell, I mean, Clark Kent fights Superman in his mind in Superman 3. So I just... Him find Zod and Kryptonians, I saw in Superman 2. Superman find himself. Hell, I saw in Superman 3. So it just... Neither one really made me go, whoa. I didn't give a fuck. Lex Luthor, I didn't understand how his robot could outmaneuver Superman. Because it's literally Lex Luthor standing here. He has a dozen scientists, technicians, and he's going, okay, A12, UB5, U76, U8, A2, D10. You sunk his battleship yet? I'm like, how is Lex Luthor telling that person to hit this button faster than Superman reacting on instinct because he's fucking Superman? But yet this robot's kicking his ass. I'm like, what the fuck? But wasn't that the Superman clone? I don't know. But then why was he getting instructions? I don't fuck. I'll be honest, I forgot that fucking movie. A good chunk of it out of my mind anyway. And, messy direction. I talked about that. If you want to know, look up my Superman 2025 review. So I guess now I'm kind of looking at it going, well, which do I like more? Because I've had that question. Which do I like more? Which do I like less? Superman or Man of Steel? I might neither. I'll take the first 3 Superman films. If I had to pick, I guess I would say Superman 2025. Because I didn't mind the Superman in it. I mean, I hate that he got his ass kicked so much. But I didn't mind his personality and the acting and the actor and the meaning behind his character. In Man of Steel, I didn't like that Superman. I did not like Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm sorry to the actor, but the way the character was written and how cold he was and how there's like this depressive aura to the whole thing. I'm like, this isn't what I go for Superman. If it does for you, I'm glad it worked for you, but I did not like the Superman character in Man of Steel. It's one of my biggest things. I did not like him. I did not like him at all. Just like I did not like him in Batman v Superman. I did not like him in, he was hell, the theatrical cut Justice League, I probably liked him a little bit better. I know a little bit about truth. I know a bit about justice. I kind of liked that bit. But yeah. I definitely don't like the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. In fact, I think when I reviewed it, I said, I probably like this more than the theatrical cut. I probably would rather watch the theatrical cut just because it's shorter. And doesn't have so much stupid, just plotting bullshit in it. There's a lot of bullshit. They both suck, but anyway, I don't talk about that. So I do think both movies are crap, but if you're telling me which I would rather watch, I guess Superman 2025, because Superman at moments at least made me feel like the Superman when I think of Superman. I didn't feel that way with Man of Steel. I just didn't. That's just me, though. So, sorry, the Snyder fans. But I mean, to me, I'm more of just, I'll stick with the first 3. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.